Here's a look at some of the most actively traded stocks across all markets. In the top spot, once again, Tesla, Intel, AMD, Paramount, and Ford. Now, I've recently gone over Tesla, Intel, and AMD. So today I'm going to go over Paramount. And thank you to Trader Marat for pointing out Amazon and Netflix. Earnings are coming up, and he says Amazon and Netflix are expected to have good outcomes. So let's go over Paramount first, since I've never done that one. So we ended the week at $11.97. The day's range, $11.68 for the low, and the high, $12.79. This is where we are. Back to the middle of the trend takes us to roughly $12.30, $12.85, $13.14, and $13.43 to the south side at -2 standard deviations and another level of support, $11.72, $11.44, and $11.16. Now looking left, note the bounce here close at support here as well. And then the sell-off right here at roughly $13.79. What goes up must come down, and it certainly did. I never expect price to stay up at this level. When it hits past this point, I always expect a pullback as people take their profits and they run, and that's exactly what happened. They lock in and they leave, just like they did right here as well and along this area. And when we are up here on our way down, these lines turn into support from resistance. Now, the 1-year price target on this is $13.06, which represents a 9% return from where we are. Now let's take a look at Amazon. I haven't gone over Amazon in a little while. It's probably because I don't trade it, so I don't bother to look at it as much as I should. But I sure as heck buy a lot of things from Amazon. To the north side, resistance, 187.74. I will anticipate a sell-off if we hit this line. And the next sell-off line, 188.74 roughly, 189.65. And to the south side at support, 183.72 and a bounce, potential bounce area as well at 182.75. A gap forms to the south side at roughly 181.93. It closes out very close to that number, 181.68, and 180.34 is where it's going to take us out. So expect a pullback. When we do that, this could eventually close and take our accounts to the south side. But right now, as you can see, we are in an upward channel. We are making higher highs. And so this is not going to be in play unless we start to go sideways. But first we'll go sideways, and then this channel will turn slightly down. So we're not there yet. And note this gap, we gapped up. So I anticipate a gap down. And so that touched at roughly 182.48. And then we hit this level of support and boom, up to resistance. I will show you this on the daily time frame here and give you some targets for the big picture. But note the RSI is turning up. Earnings is on the 25th. Option R to resize this for me. Right now it's hard to see, but right here is where we are. To the north side, so the range is 188.57, 195.85, and 202.66. Does this fall in line with the price target? 209.26. So even another leg up to there. All right, and to the south side, back at support, 174.18. I'll have to check and see if these gaps closed out, but I have to clean up this chart. But you can see I've tracked this for quite some time. And then we've got a mini gap to the south side at 106.72. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. But look at that. All right. Note how we made our way down, and now we're making our way back up again. And let's go to Nflx. On the 5-minute time frame, your price targets for Monday will be, all right, the middle of the trend takes us back to 639.30. Another level of resistance, 649.43, 655.18, and roughly 660.49. I don't anticipate us to get up to this level. And if we do, definitely expect a pullback. To the south side, support, 628.69. 623.03 lines up with -3 standard deviations and the beginning of a gap to the south side, and that gap closes out at -4 standard deviations, 618.15. Note the bounce here at support up to resistance, and we're just grinding along the middle of the trend where price always goes through to get to the upside, or if we're on the upside to the downside. And then resistance, sell off, trying to claw our way back, and then flushing back down again. RSI turning down. I will show you this on the daily. RSI is, what is that? Turning up, so we've got room to move without being overbought, overextended. But I use this again as my support and resistance levels. And as far as the range, so we're at 636.18 to the north side, 652.23, 693.75, and 736.72. To the south side, 569.51. A gap forms at 536.69 and eventually takes us down to 490.76. We are not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. But as you can see, I've looked at this many times. I used to trade this for my mom. Had I stayed in, I would have made tons of money for her, but I didn't. I bailed. And that's the thing. You just don't know. It's like real estate. When you play the long game, you buy and you hold, you do typically very well. That's where wealth is made. But plenty of opportunities to trade to the upside and to the downside. All right, that is a look at Paramount, Amazon, and Nflx. Again, thank you to Marat for pointing out Amazon and Nflx to me. And have a great trading week.